it's silly why people are, why that it's such a stigma about it. Because actually, if you look at if you said it's, what cancer did you get? If you said, oh, I've got squamous cell carcinoma, people go, oh, what's that? And you say, it's cervical cancer. And you go, oh, it's the same thing. I went, yep. So I've got cervical cancer of the throat. There you go, because the cells are the same. Well, if a woman gets cervical cancer, you know, which is a terrible thing, but if a woman did get cervical cancer, nobody goes around saying, aha, it's because you're a woman and you were a bad person, or you were naughty, or you were having sex. Duh, you know, you're a man, woman, man, you know, people, it's what people do, you know, it's part of, otherwise the human race would be extinct. So it's kind of hypocritical of the press, certain elements of the press, you know, to go on about it, you know, as if they're like kind of pathetic schoolboys, you know, oral sex, it's pathetic, you know. Probably 80% of the human race has been exposed to human papillomavirus. And what everybody should be doing is saying, how can we find out more about why, first of all, it can cause cancers in some people and not in others. Why in men over 40, suddenly there's an epidemic. And why there's no test in men. Simple, easy test, like the smear test in women. I mean, almost 100%, I would say, of throat cancers in guys aged over 40 are HPV. And the good news is it's very treatable. The good news is it's almost a different disease to any other kind of throat cancer, or even any other kind of cancer. It's really specific. The bad news is that by the time you get diagnosed, it's probably stage 3, and you went into the doctor because you had a lump in your lymph node, and so it's already spread a little bit. But that's kind of almost everybody. And as my oncologist said to me, he said, look, you know, because I went on Google and researched everything and was like, ah, my God, it's stage 3, you know, next thing is stage 4, and then it's a coffin, you know. And he went, calm down. He said, it's an academic way of classifying cancers. And he said, honestly, I'd rather have stage 3 of your cancer than stage 1 lung cancer. And I went, oh, okay. I mean, my father died of lung cancer, so I you know, and it wasn't very pleasant in his last days. Although he was still, you know, up and about and you know, functioning, you know, up till the last 2 or 3 days, really. But again, all these things are the advances now, particularly in something like lung cancer, incredible in terms of, you know, gene therapies and specific therapies now. So I think over the course of the next 5 to 10 years, the advances are going to be immense for those difficult to treat cancers. But for my one that I you know, I hope had, it's 3.5, nearly 4 years now since I got, you know, rid of it. For my cancers, the pathway is pretty clear, but it is all about diagnosis and getting it. People say get it early. The trouble is, guys don't even realize they have cancer. I was in studio singing, on the Book of Souls album with a 3.5 centimetre tumour in the base of my tongue. I didn't know. Now, I did a bit of Googling because I know my body, so I thought, I feel a little strange. What could it be? And I had a little lump here, which was a 2.5 centimetre one in the lymph node right there. Anyway, I actually got the diagnosis correct. I was very proud of myself. When I went to my oncologist, I went, I know what this is. He said, maybe, you know. But why in men over 40? Why our immune systems don't pick it up and like we did when we were younger and just get rid of the HPV? We don't know. And it's not just men. I mean, women, obviously, cervical cancer, but also another cancer that people are even more scared to talk about, which is anal cancer. So, but they're all squamous cell carcinomas. It's all the same type of cells in all of those places, mucous membranes, things like that. And I just think that we need to, educate people for signs and symptoms. Dentists already should be fairly well educated, but I don't think some of them necessarily are. To look at dental checkups, to have a good feel around and look for changes in tissues. But sometimes it's quite subtle, I think, and it's difficult to spot, So I think there's need for more research because it's a highly curable cancer.